Okay, this lab is called Pollution in the Aquifer, and I'm going to go through the procedure to help you out. First of all, you're going to need to make sure you have all of your supplies. You're going to need some gravel, some sand, plastic cup, a beaker to collect water in, an eyedropper, some modeling clay that's in a little baggie, and some food coloring. Alright, so we're going to set up our aquifer first. So take your plastic cup. Alright, and the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pour the sand into the bottom of your clear plastic cup and kind of even it out. That. Alright, then your next step says pour water into the sand, wetting it completely. There should be no standing water on top of the sand. So you're going to have to get some water in your beaker at one of the sinks. You don't need a lot, so I just got about half of the beaker. Okay? When you pour the water into the sand, pour really slowly because you only want water in your sand. You don't want water to stand on top of it. Okay? And just keep dropping it a little bit. Oh, and when you start seeing it it's going to get on the top. Oop, I got a little bit too much there. The way you can fix that if you do it is kind of get it out with your eyedropper. You can just put it in here. Doesn't matter if your water's dirty. And just get your excess water. Off. Okay, right there. Okay, that's close enough. All right, zoom in one more time. Make sure you don't have standing water on top of your sand. Okay, then your lab sheet says to closely observe the sand and record your observations. So you're going to look closely at this sand all around. Okay. And then on your lab sheet, you have a box to write down your observations. I'll be showing you how to use your observation cards, and you can use those to help you out fill this box right here. Okay? But we're going to move on to the next step. Alright, after your observations are done for your sand, you're going to keep going. And step 4 says that I need to flatten my modeling clay and cover half of the sand with the clay. So, inside your baggie, you'll have some modeling clay. All right, and I've already flattened mine out because this is the second time I've tried today. So you can just lay it down on your table and flatten it out. Okay, and we want to cover half of the sand with the clay. So we're going to carefully set the clay down on the sand. Okay, that's a little bit more than a half, but it will work. I can just, if there's too much, I don't want that. Just pinch it off and then put it in there. Okay, that's about half. And then it says to seal off that side by pressing the clay into the side of the cup. So you're going to take kind of your fingernail, push the clay over, and seal that side of the cup off. Okay. There we go. Right there too. Alright, now we got that done. Then it says using your eyedropper, drop 2 drops of water onto the clay. So we're going to get the eyedropper and we're going to get some water. And it says drop 2 drops. 1, 2. Right, and you can see that the water's sitting up there. It says observe closely and record your observations. So again, you're going to come over here to your lab sheet, and in your observation box, you're going to record observations. And you can use your cards, your observation cards, to help you out here. Okay, and now we're going to go to the next section. Alright, now we're on the next section of your lab sheet. Now you're going to use some gravel to form the next layer of your aquifer, and it says that you want to place your rocks over the sand and clay, covering the entire container to one side of your cup. Have a slope that forms a hill and a valley. See the illustration. On your lab sheet, it shows you an illustration of what your cup's supposed to be looking like right now. Okay, so I'm going to take my gravel here, and I'm going to kind of collect the rocks here. And on one side, I'm going to build up a hill and slope it so that it's kind of sloped up the side right there. Okay? Then it says that we want to pour water into the aquifer until the water in the valley is even with the hill. When they say valley, they're talking about this low part, and the hill would be the top part. Make sure you build it up so it's got a low and a tall. So now I'm going to take my water, and it wants me to fill it up to the top of the hill. So again, pour slowly and start filling up. You only want to go to the top of your rocks. There. Then it says, observe the spaces in between the rocks closely. Is there water in the spaces? So you want to get down and look at the spaces in between the rocks and see if there's water in that. Okay? And then answer it on your lab sheet. Okay? And then the next question says, what is the measure of these spaces called? And that's a vocabulary word. So you're going to want to go to your journal and look for the vocabulary word that is the meaning of the measure of these spaces right here. It was one of our vocabulary words. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to put some pollution into your aquifer. So you're going to take the food color, and you're going to put 4 drops, 1, 2, 3, 4, at the top of the hill. Okay, after you put your 4 drops of food coloring, your lab sheet over here says to draw a detailed illustration of your aquifer. Remember, a detailed illustration includes pictures, color, and labeling. So make sure that you draw with details, color it, and label your aquifer to get full credit here. Once that is done, okay, you are going to put your aquifer outside on the table outside of the classroom, and when you do this, you're going to have to carry it very, very carefully. So you're going to want a very steady-handed person to pick it up, put a hand under it, and you're going to walk it outside and set it carefully on the table. Don't shake it around a whole lot, or it will mess up the rocks, and then on the second day it won't be right for you to look at. Okay? And now we're going to move on to cleanup. Alright, cleanup for this lab is really easy. If you have any leftover clay, just put it back in the baggie. Put the baggie in here. Okay? You're going to want to put your empty containers in here. Your food color back in here. The water that you did not use needs to go down the sink, and you need to wash out your eyedropper. So I'm going to go do that now. Alright. Then you're going to put this in the tote. Okay. Take your tote over to the counter and put it back on the counter. Okay, I'll do that in just a minute. Y'all know where that goes. It's over there by the wash sink. Your lab sheets, remember, all collected together. You're going to come over and turn your lab sheets whoever the RR is into the basket. Don't forget you should have your group work grade paper clipped to the front and turn into your basket for me to grade. If there's any sand or anything on the tabletop, you're going to want to take a paper towel and you're going to want to wipe the table off. Please don't put sand in the floor. Wipe it off into your hand like this, and then into your trash can. After that, you're done, and if you're waiting on other groups, you can go ahead and get a game out, but make sure that you're cleaned up first.